decline of COVID-19 cases in Australia. Eagle News correspondent Emmy Kapili Taroha in Brisbane has the details.
For the latest updates on COVID-19 here in Australia, this week has been observed to having been a steady decline in cases observed in states and territories. However, it is too soon to tell whether this trend will be sustained. Over the past week, an average of 28 new cases reported daily from New South Wales. But some states, on the positive note, recorded 0 cases in certain days this week. These states include Queensland, Australian Capital Territory, and Western Australia. The cases under investigation in each state and territory is relatively low, implying that the public health actions, among other interventions, is occurring in a timely manner. Here's the latest numbers as of 3 p.m. yesterday, Thursday. There has been a total of 6,661 cases of COVID-19, with 75 deaths and 5,000 recoveries. But a massive 466,000 tests have been conducted nationally, spearheaded by the government itself, which is actually 1.4% of that have been recorded positive. The nature of cases in Australia is attributed to 64% from international travel, including cruise ships. Now, where are we now in terms of Australian government response? The aim of the government is really 2 things: manage and minimize. Manage the risk and the demand of the health systems, as well as minimize the numbers of infections and deaths. The government has actually been deciding based on an evidence-based platform or a modeling of the impact of COVID-19 in Australia, and has been actually watching the world and how it responded early on this year. This model is taking into account business as usual scenarios versus preventive measures in place, and from then on became the basis of their responses since January. They have affected social distancing, and also people were advised to stay at home for the meantime, and people that have tested positive underwent isolation and self-quarantine. This efforts from the government actually is being implemented at the moment, as it in fact a concerted effort by the national government along with the state and territory governments, coupled with the government sanctioned committees such as the Australian Health Protection Public Committee, or AHPPC, and the general public as well, which the general public plays an important and a pivotal role to ensure the success of all this response. The response so far in Australia, in fact, they have closed the travel borders. There has been travel restrictions already. No more flights inbound Australia and also interstate. And physical distancing and stay-at-home has been implemented up until this moment. The stay-at-home restrictions may last until the end of June. And as what Health Minister Greg Hunt mentioned in one of his press conferences, these responses are contrary to the Australian culture, but essential for our future. In terms, of course, of keeping the business and the economy afloat, the Australian government had rolled out packages staggeredly since early March so that all the economic sectors affected will be assisted. The economic support package, around $17.6 billion, has been rolled out to encourage investment and keep people in jobs. And the health package as well, which has reached $2.4 billion, has been rolled out to protect all Australians. The Medicare subsidized telehealth services is also funded with $669 million so that all Australians has access to quality health care while at home. And to support the mental health and well-being of its citizens, $74 million was allocated for this service. Plus, on top of these ones, enhanced services such as purchase deliveries and also taking care of the affected sectors like the aged, the persons with disability, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. There are also programs for support in these times of pandemic. In Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, Emmy Kapili Taroha will live in interesting times.
Thank you, Emmy. Now, I've heard that Anzac Day is an important day for Australians, but these public celebrations, they're cancelled. How are most Australians planning to celebrate alternatively?
Yes, due to the COVID-19 restrictions here in Australia, Anzac Day, which is really a very important celebration. Anzac actually means Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, and Anzac Day is a day of remembrance to remember the peacekeepers, the heroes of the war, those that fought in conflict areas. This very important ceremony will move forward, however, within the confines of our homes, via television, watching the ceremonies from the Australian War Memorial on TV and online. Now, in Queensland, the Queensland government has urged all Queenslanders to light up some candles, go to the driveway, to the balconies, and light these candles at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, April 25, altogether, so as to commemorate Anzac Day.
Well, thank you, Emmy. I know it's not ideal, but I hope you're still able to enjoy those celebrations. Stay safe.